ॐ ह्रीं नमो अरिहन्ताणम् ॐ ह्रीं नमो सिद्धाणम् ॐ ह्रीं नमो आयनियाणम् ॐ ह्रीं नमो उवच्छायाणम् ॐ ह्रीं नमो लोये संवसाहुणम् ऐसो पञ्चिनमुकारो संविपाविपणासनो मङ्गलाणं च संवेसिं परमं हवै मङ्गलम् परमं हवै मङ्गलम्. We'll do 2 minutes meditation.
Okay.
Sit straight, close your eyes. Have a deep breath in. Deep breathe out. Deep breathe in. Deep breathe out. Have full concentration on your breathing. Slowly, slowly, you can open your eyes. Om Arham, Om Arham. His Holiness to Acharya Mahasramanji, Vanik Association. As we all know that today's topic is tolerate and be successful. And in this world, as we see now, the most important thing is tolerate, because we cannot tolerate each other. So I choose this topic, that how can we tolerate and we can become the successful. So I will start with a very short story. There was a weaver bird, had its nest on a tree, and a monkey sat on the same tree. The weather turned around untowards, and it started to rain heavily. Azile chilly winds accompanied the rains, turning it into a storm. The bird sat quietly in its nest, which was so strong that even rainwater could not stay there, could not penetrate it, whereas the monkey also was shivering. Seeing his condition, the bird thought to give some advice, because people think nowadays how much advice we can give to each other. In the same way, the bird thought, why should not I say something to this monkey? So the bird said to the monkey, Haath tere, pav tere. You have hands, you have the legs. And minak sariki deh hai. Yani, and the body is like a man. Jhondi, jhopadi tu chhap bandar. Why don't you make yourself a home that will give you protection during the rain? So he said, The bird said, you have hand, you have legs, and you have a body like a man. Why don't you make the home? Hearing this monkey, and the nature of the monkey is also very agitated. Hearing this, monkey got very frustrated and replied in the same manner, Suchi mukha durachari, your face is thin like a needle, and you are teaching me to build a house? I know only how to destroy, not to build. Now, what monkey did? Saying this, the monkey pounced and destroyed the bird's nest. Though this is the story. Though what the bird said to the monkey was right and was for the monkey's own benefits. But the monkey could not tolerate it. This is not the weakness of animals only, but in the present, in the 21st century, if we see, the main problem of the human basic weakness is tolerate. We cannot tolerate each other. Why the divorce is happening nowadays? In the morning, there is a marriage, and the evening, there is a divorce. Why is that? Because no one can hear to one another. No one can listen to one another. And this is the basic human weakness. So the poet said, advice should only be given to those who value its importance. A free advice to the foolish monkey caused the poor weaver its home. In the same way, nowadays, a lot of the parents say, oh, mere bacche sunte nahi hain. So give advice to them who value your importance. And what is the important? Give that much only. So much giving advices is also intolerable. And often people who give sound advices to others are also have a tolerate because they also cannot listen to others. That's a problem. Instead of being grateful for what the advice, the receiver thinks that this is hurting my ego. The ego is hurting them. So the absence of tolerance gives rise to such a depraved mentality. So that's why the problem is happening. Now the question is that why should we tolerate? We are so independent nowadays. So I ask you, really all of you are independent? I think so. In this world, no one is independent. We all are dependent on something and something. If we want to eat the chapati also, we are dependent on the farmer. If we need the light also, we are dependent on the electrician. If we are thirsty also, we are dependent on the rivers. So we all are dependent, but then also we think that we are an independent personality. And nowadays it's gone that I want to become an independent person. But really, we are not an independent person. There is no point of talking about tolerance because when a person is all alone, they don't want to listen to each other and they are living alone. Why should they tolerate? But it said that since man is a social being, it is important to understand the importance of tolerance. We all are a social being. So the working style, habits, taste, they all have different person have different viewpoints. In the family, if we are the 4%, if the person are the 4%, you see, they all have the different viewpoints. If the person does not listen to each other, if they don't understand the views of others, what the problem will come? We all know the consequences that what the problem will come. But to create harmony in a group, development of tolerance is essential. So we should contemplate about what causes these hurdles, why we cannot tolerate to each other. So our behavior is linked to our body parts. The person thinks, oh, this person is getting angry. This is always an angry person. Why don't we think on a physiology level that maybe this person is having some problem? That's why this cannot tolerate. It's said that when the liver does not function properly, it leads to the person agitated. We don't go in the reality what's happening. Just we see the person from the up. ऊपर ऊपर से हम देखते हैं कि ये person ऐसा है, ऐसा है, ऐसा है. And we give them the stamping. Oh, this person is angry person, this person is agitated person, this person is frustrated person. My son doesn't listen to me, my husband doesn't listen to me. Just we give them the tag. But what's the reason behind it? We don't think that. The reason behind it, for tolerance, it is said that The person's, if the liver is not functioning properly, it means that the person will get agitated, the person will get frustration, and he cannot tolerate others. So malfunctioning of intestine leads to sadness, leads to angriness, and which in turn reduces the tolerance level. So hunger can cause disinterest in other activities itself also. So we also need to think from the perspective of physical matter and food. Everything depends. Now we see what's the food. The whole day, what's the food? People go to the hotel to eat it, they go to the restaurant to eat it. What the consequences will come after eating it? Some person eats very good food and is it. When you cook the food in a very angry way, then when the person will eat the food, what will happen? They will become angry automatically. So in the same way, it is said that the food cook, the food which you have cooked, it should be in a very peaceful way. When you cook it, it's said that you cook the food in a very peaceful way so that the person also will react in a very peaceful way. Just do one experiment. When I think so, every one of you cook here. So whenever you cook the food, just recite one mantra. Just do Nokar mantra at doing that. And if anyone is getting angry also at that time, you will see, if you say anything to them, they will become very silent. So there is a very deep connection with the physical matter and the food. So if we basically, it is it is said that our body is made of the 5 elements. And the 5 elements are earth, water, fire, and space. So the study of this has been in ancient Indian scriptures. There is a lot of elaborating. We don't will go in so much elaboration. So it is said that an excess of either of the elements of air and fire elements, if both mix together, and when it becomes very excess, the body leads to the stimulation of emotions. The emotion turns very high, and which in turn weakens our tolerance level. And because of it, we cannot tolerate anything. So next time, if the other person is not listening, just think that, oh, maybe his means fire element and air element is very high. That's why the person cannot listen to me. And one of the main reason of the imbalanced diet. It's very imbalanced diet if we see nowadays. All the junk foods are being eaten, and all the means if we eat the good fruits also, there are a lot of ingredients, a lot of the things are given which is not means good for the body, it's harmful for the body. So we should try to avoid such food which eliminates in our body and brings imbalance in them. For example, processed foods. It's a not processed food that's are frozen, chunky, spicy, and oily. You see, excess of use of both salt and sugar. After 50 or after 40, it's said that how much you can decrease your salt and sugar. Because salt and sugar leads to many problems. It distorts our attitude and thinking. And itself, it weakens our immune system and causes serious health issues. Sometimes we see here, the kids come here and the parents say that, Samaniji, we should not give anything, like something was going on, and they said that we should not give anything we should not eat the sweet at night. Why the kids doesn't eat the sweet at night? Because they get the hyper. In the same way, it's for the adult also. So try to decrease both salt and sugar. Try to just in a week, I will not eat 2 days for the salt, or 2 days sugar, I will avoid it. So it will help you on your emotion level also, and it will help you in your physical level also, both things. And if the person wants to develop tolerance level, one needs to understand the relationship of diet, the 5 elements, and also the hormones with human behavior. So it is said that implementation of proper knowledge is important. So there are 5 fingers on the hand, and this 5 fingers represents the 5 elements. If we see the little finger, it represents water. Ring finger, it represents the earth. Middle finger, it represents the space. Index finger, it represents air. And thumb represents fire. So there are various hands posture also. There is that if anything is getting imbalance or anything, we can do some hand mudras or anything, so that like Varun mudra we can do, or any other mudras we can do, so that we can balance our elements. So it's very important to balance our five elements. So if you balance the five elements, what will happen? We can balance our emotions. And if the emotions are in the balance, you see, everything will be in the balance. There will be no chaos in the home, in the family. There will be no chaos in the society, because a lot of the things, the people, what they do, the chaos starts from the family. They cannot speak in the family anything, and the chaos come to the society. And in the society, what people say, oh, there is everything, there is political system, everything, there is political system. Nothing is there. We cannot tolerate our emotion, and just the person, what they do, they just vomit it there. So the first thing is that how much we can tolerate our emotions. And for that, we have to focus on our diet. And to focus on the diet, two things are important: sugar and the salt. Try to avoid these two things. How much as soon as possible we can decrease these two things. So to bringing a change and transforming our emotions is just as complicated as the emotions themselves. So to bring about any transformation, we need to see each thing from the different perspective. Lord Mahavira has given very beautifully, you see, Anekantvad. Only speaking about Anekantvad is not enough. We should follow every day Anekantvad in our daily life. How can we follow Anekantvad in our daily life? Just see, only do one thing. The other person is saying anything, it's their own perception. And what the I am saying, it's my own perception. Every people have owned their perception. If the person starts thinking it, the tolerance will start from that day. So we should concentrate more on neck unto our head. Just don't go on the head. Oh, what my head is saying, that's only correct. No. Just think from down also. This is because the neck is the seat of the mind, while our emotion rests above the neck and up to the head. So everything starts from our brain. So our face is a reflection of our emotions. Whether a person is stressed or happy, it can be, how can we know? By the expressions of others. But a lot of the person are there, they hide their expressions. But hiding the expressions is also not very easy. So all states of being, pride, deceit, greed, hatred, all the 18 paths of Jainism can be identified from our face only. So if you see, there are a lot of the violent person are also there. How can we decrease the violence in them? So if you see any person, oh, they are so very violent, they speak a lie, just go on the physiological way and just think, what's happening on them? Why is this happening? So it's very beautifully said, you say, Acharya Mahapragyaji has given psychic center. As we see, there are the 7 chakras in our body. So just as there are psychic centers in our middle part and the lower part, there are also psychic centers for various emotions, and which resides in the upper part of the body. Like if we see per Priksha meditation, it said that people who meditate on the eyebrows, in the center of intuition, on the center of peace, that is the frontal lobe, on the center of knowledge, and on the center of energy, can develop many positive emotions. So the important thing is us where we have to do meditation. That's the most important thing. And now medical science also believes that emotions are generated in the hypothalamus in the brain. So how can we make our hypothalamus very calm? That's the important thing. So the two glands associated with, there are the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. And these two glands are the master glands. So these two glands control the other glands in our body. So it's very important, how can we influence the pituitary and the pineal gland, that is center of intuition and the center of energy. So it's said that if the person is getting very angry, just focus on the center of the intuition, then the person can start decreasing their anger. So it said that just focus on intuition, energy, and the knowledge. And it will, center of knowledge will affect the hypothalamus. So we have to make sure that our pituitary gland and the pineal gland works properly. So a concentration on the center of intuition affects the pituitary gland. Why this? I don't know how many of you are doing your meditation or what type of meditation they are doing. But if the person is not doing meditation, please start doing the meditation, because meditation will develop the new habits. And it's very beautifully said that don't think only of this future, that person makes the insurance for the future, they make the insurance of the car, that the car should be safety, they make the insurance of the house, they make everything insurance. Just I'm asking you, how many of you have reserved or insurance your next birth? Have you thought that after you die, where will you born? We should think that my attitude or my behavior, whatever I'm doing today, does this attitude or behavior will lead me to the Naragati, or will it lead me to the moksha, or will it lead me to the, which gati will it lead me? There are four gatis: Narak, Tiryansh, Manushya, Dev. So in which gati my activity is leading to me? So to change our, the most important thing is that how much we can change our perception, how much we can change our emotions, how much we can change our behavior. And this will lead for the next gati. It says that the person's emotions only will, if the person is getting very angry, they will become the snake. If the person is lying very much, they will go to the Tiryansh gati. If the person is very violent, they will go to the Narak gati. So what we are doing, just this is the most important thing. So a person willing to increase the tolerance power, if someone wants to do anything, just increase the tolerance power, just do half an hour or 5 minutes. Just do your center of intuition for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, how much time you can give, and just focus on that and concentrate on that. And after 3 months, there will be a miracle that we will see, oh, really, our tolerance power has increased. And we have to increase the tolerance with such exercises also, which affects our adrenal gland and its secretion of adrenaline. And the more secretion of adrenaline, it reduces the anxiety and passion also. You see, people is getting a lot of depression, stress. After work, they get a lot of stress. Oh, I can do this much only. Why? Because there is no secretion of adrenaline. Just after each hour, just focus on the center of intuition. You will see that at the end of the at the end of the day also, you are very happy that you have not done any work, you will feel. So it reduces anxiety and passion also. So as a result, the body general energy level is also enhanced. This body is there which will enhance your energy, and this body is only there which will decrease your energy. So the most important thing is that how much we can concentrate on our pituitary gland and the pineal gland, and to tolerate it, we have to focus on the adrenal gland, so because of the secretion of that. So meditation is very important thing to cleanse the negative emotions. The whole person in the, there is no, I think so very few people will be there, there's no having negative emotions. So why does there is a negative emotions are like intolerance, ego, deceit, greed, hatred, fear, and lust. Lot of the this are there. So contemplate of the tolerance. Just focus as we are talking about tolerance, that how much tolerance is important. So intolerance will be there, negative emotions will be there. So it says that if you think minus, 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 you will see everything minus only. If you start thinking positive on that person, you will think, oh, really, this person is very positive. But as you start thinking once on the negative, you will see, oh, that person also will negative become towards the yourself. And because you are thinking at that time negative thing, that's why that person has become the negative. So at that time, if the person starts thinking clearly, no, this is my mistake and I have to ponder upon my soul to make my soul purer, what can I do? That's the important thing. So the person has to do self observation, how much we can observe ourselves. It said in Uttaradhyan Sutra, Jupuvarata Varat Kale. Before sleeping, a person should see to themselves, oh, really, in the whole day, what I have done. The work which, the activity which have I done is really leading me to a good place or it's leading me to a bad place. Is making my image good or it's making my image bad. So we have to do self observance. That's the most important thing. Number two, deliberate. Start talking to each other. Appraisal, give appreciation to others. Oh, you have done such a good work. Just appreciate how much you can appreciate to each other. And contemplate. Contemplate on not others. Oh, what others are doing. Don't focus on others. Contemplate on the self. That's the most important thing. And after an incident, an honest appraisals of one's own mistake will result to avoid mistakes in the future. The person will start avoiding the mistake in the future because they came to know, oh, this is my mistake. This was such a silly thing, and I did such a big mistake, and I talked to that. No, no, this was such a silly thing, and I cannot do this in the future. So, this will increase the power of tolerance. So, the four things are important. Self observance is important, deliberation is important, appraisal is important, and contemplation is important. These four things are very important in our life. So development of tolerance will lead to an improved person. How much we can, people do a lot of personality classes, they go for a lot of training. Why don't you take training of the self? Train your soul. That's the most important thing. And after the age of 50, I think so, whoever is sitting here, they are the age of the 50. So after the age of the 50, just think that I am living here and I have to train my soul every day to make it clear, because there is lot of, there we can say now, there is lot of badness is there, because we are all are from the anant janam, infinite births we already have taken. Now what we have to do, we have to stop the birth, we have to stop everything, and for that we have to clean our soul. If you take any bleach or anything, the soul will not get cleaned. If you put little bit of bleach in the soul, it will affect little bit, but if you put the whole bottle, it will affect more. In the same way, every day you have to do something to clean the soul. You have to do, bleach is so strong. In the same way, you have to make your soul very clean, and in a very hard way you have to do. So it's very important that how much we can tolerate. Just we all know the story of Gajasukumal. Gajasukumal has tolerated a lot. The Somil Brahmin has put the coal on the head of the Gajasukumal, but he was so calm at that time. Oh, okay, this was, I have done some past mistake in my birth. That's why this is happening to me. And you see, such a small boy, 8 years old boy, Gajasukumal has tolerated, and he went to the moksha. So why this happens? Because of the tolerance power. If we see in front of our Lord Mahavira, there are a lot of the stories of the Lord Mahavira who has tolerated a lot of the things and he has got to moksha. The question can come, oh, he was the Lord Mahavira, he was the God. How can we tolerate? Before Lord Mahavira, he was such a simple person. He was like us only. So the question and the answer is that we also are simple person. Lord Mahavira was also a simple person. Just we have to become like Lord Mahavira. The first step is that we have to tolerate. Wherever it's a leadership personality or a Shravak Dharma, anything. If we want peace and prosperity in the society, it's very important to bring the peace and prosperity in the society. We have to tolerate each other. If we don't tolerate each other, you see, lot and the lot and the lot of the problems will go on. So the question is, how can we tolerate it? As I have said, there are a lot of the points I have given. Just do that, how much we can tolerate it. And the most important thing is that why there is no tolerance. If we go to the foundation, everywhere we go to the foundation, if the building is good, it means that the foundation is good. If the kids are good, it means that the parents are good. So everything we see in the foundation, and the foundation is that we don't have the discipline. Self-discipline is very important. And it's said that we need the discipline of body, we need the discipline of breath, we need the discipline of life, discipline of speech, and discipline of mind. So every person, as we are living in the society, discipline is very important. As I have said before, that we all want to become independent. The woman says that I want to become independent, I want to become an independent lady. When she is young girl, she was protected by her father. When she is a lady, she is protected by her husband. And when she grows old, her son starts protecting her. Not only woman, the man is also not independent. The effect, the effect on us, our worldly environment, we are dependent on everything. So if the person is saying, I want to become independent, the most important thing is that how can we become independent? Discipline is very important. So discipline, if the person is disciplined, a lot of the problems will go away. Why there is no not getting up on the time? This is the biggest problem on the nowadays problem. Not it okay, they will go on the time, everything will happen on the time. Only one thing will happen on the time, and that is what? Going on the office very timely. Otherwise, boss will scold me. In the same way, if the person started thinking, oh, if I'm not having self-discipline, why don't my soul will start scolding me? Why don't I make my soul more purer and purer? So when self-discipline is realized, the fear of punishment will also go away. The person will become fearless. And as a person becomes fearless, the tolerance power will also increase. There was Emperor Alexander, asked a saint to come and visit his kingdom. The saint refused. Now Alexander was astonished and surprised. No great kings had the courage to avert the words of Alexander. Who can this mighty saint can say me this is not good? When even the mightiest would tremble at the slightest hint of Alexander, how can this saint refuse me? Now what he did? He drew his sword and threatened to kill the saint if he did not obey his command. The saint replied, who are you to trying to scare me? The fear of death ended long ago because he was not afraid of the death. And I'm not afraid of death anymore. And death is afraid of me. Now the sword fell off Alexander's hand. How can anyone scare a person who has overcome the fear of death? So the world is a strange place. It frightens only those who are already scared. No power can bully a person who is fearless. Alexander felt sorry for his own actions and he said, I am inspired by your courage and fearlessness. So now the story goes on very long. But the thing is that in the gist, if we go, we have to be fearless. And if the tolerance power is there, we can become the fearless itself. The saint has so much tolerance that he can tolerate everything. He has tolerated in the past a lot of the things that he got this thing. So if we tolerate, we can have the fearlessness. So for that, self-discipline is very important. Discipline of the body, breath, life, speech, mind. These 5 disciplines together constitute self-discipline. If I ask you all, there is a discipline of the body. Do you have a discipline of the body? The question will come, no. Do you have the discipline of the breath? Does you check it? No. Rekha ji is saying no, no, no. Do you have the discipline of the life? We have to think it. Discipline of the speech. Anytime the person can speak anything. Discipline of the mind. We have to think of all these things that really do we have discipline? Now, what is discipline of a body? It's very simple. I will not go in a very elaborate way. Just in the, it is very difficult to have control over our hands, legs. If I say, oh, just sit for an hour, you have to sit just like a statue. Is it easy to sit? It's not easy. But if you are talking for a long person, if I say stand for 1 hour, is it easy to stand? No, if you are talking to someone, it will be very easy. But if I say stand and do meditation, it will be very hard. Within 5 minutes, the leg will start aching. So while doing meditation, one is supported to sit in a particular posture, but it's very difficult because the hands and legs will become numb. It means that they face great difficulties to sit for a long. A person must practice body discipline that he can sit for 3 hours in a day. And in a month, it means 3 hours in a day he can sit in one posture. That is known as discipline of the body. They cannot move like sculpture we see. They can, means this is a non-living thing. So it doesn't matter. So discipline of the body is very difficult, but the capability of our brain is what? Beyond imagination. It's everything is brain, nothing is body. The body is just a nothing. So brain is more important. So neuroscience what said? 90% of our brain remains underutilized. It says that a common man uses how much percent brain? Only to 5-6% of the brain. And it is said that the person who uses 77 to 8% of the brain becomes a good and fortunate one. And one who uses 10% of the brain will become a legendary personality. Now you just think, we all are in 5, 6, 7, 8 or 10. Or not in the 5, 6, also 7 and below the 5. Only what's the job? We'll get up early in the morning, we'll cook very fast, and we'll pack the tiffin, we'll go to the office, we'll come back, again we'll cook for tomorrow, and we'll just sleep. That much is the life. And one day, we all will pass away. So the thing is that how much we can utilize our brain, how much we can utilize our soul, how much we can clean it, that's the most important thing. And for that, discipline of the body is very important. Second thing is discipline of the breath. How much there is a discipline of the breath? One who starts meditation learns to breathe properly. The way of breathing is to inhale fully and exhale completely, and to hold it slowly and steadily and practice it to retain it. So if we talk about the breath, there is a very big concept of the breath also. So it's said that there is a control and discipline of the breath. How much we can inhale is important. How much exhalation is important. There is a scientific breathing on it. Deep breathing with correct posture. It takes a longer period, but we can do it. As I said before also, everything depends on our mind. If the mind is good, the person can work for 24 hours without sleeping. And if the brain is not good, the person cannot work for 24 minutes also. He will say, oh, this is a very hard work. They cannot work. It's everything related to our mind. The third thing is discipline of the vital energy. So discipline of the vital energy is the more difficult to master than the discipline of the breath. Because the vital energy is so much subtle, that intricate than breathing is. It's so subtle. So it's in Praksha meditation, it's suggested that one should try to feel the vibration of vital energy to experience the flow of vital energy. How can we how can we awaken it? And it will awaken, the vital energy will awaken when we are so much disciplined, then only it can awaken. So practice, a person can concentrate, means they have to be very focused, they have to be very concentrated, then only this vital energy can become awake, and we can means discipline our vital energy. So a person can be made to sleep or stay awake. All such hypnotic activities we see, there is a miracle. People saying, oh, this is really miracle, magical. This is nothing miracle or magical. It's the miracle power of the vital energy. How much vital energy is strong? You can attract that person. You can do that person or whatever you want, the person will listen. Like for ladies will say, oh, my husband never listened to me. How they will listen to you? Because vital energy is not strong. And if the vital energy is strong, there will be the power that the other person will listen to you. So the existence of discipline over vital energy means the autonomous nervous system could be brought under our control, and our self-discipline will be there. And the fourth thing is discipline of the speech, the fifth one, and it is the most important. Why there is intolerant if we go to the story of the bird and the monkey? Because the bird has not the discipline of the speech. Giving advice is good, but nowadays in the 21st century, giving advice to the own son or own daughter is also very not good. So to have discipline our speech is also very difficult. Our words from our speech, our thoughts, and our imagination. What is their imagination? The words will come out. They stem from the vocal cord is the throat. Try to focus on the throat, and whenever you start speaking, just think in the back of the mind 10 times, oh, I am speaking right or I am speaking wrong. Is this will be usable for me, or it will the more problem will create. The person thinks, oh, I will do the good thing, but it happens the bad thing. So sometimes similar happens, the person sees the daydreaming also. So science has proved that while dreaming, what happens? Our larynx is there and it becomes active. And if the larynx becomes inactive, one cannot recall memories, one cannot use his imagination, or one cannot ponder over anything. So that's why it is said that if you want to make the thought, if you want to make the communication very strong, give some rest to your throat. That's the most important thing. So the person who has learned the relaxation of the throat has learned to relax the larynx, and it can solve a lot of the problems. Just focus on your throat and a lot of the problems will go away. Just whenever you are sitting, just you are getting, nowadays there is a time, there is a lot, just you are getting 2 minutes. What you will do, the person will pick up the mobile and see what's the messages are there. They will just scroll it. It's a just think that, oh, I'm getting 2 minutes time. Now I have to focus on my throat. I will just focus on my throat. Just getting 2 minutes, just I will focus on my center of intuition. I'm getting 2 minutes, I will focus on my center of energy. So this will increase your power and you will see a miracle in your life. So if the person has a lot of problems in real life, you all know in the lay followers life, there is a lot of problems each and every day. If one is poor, he's worried about his livelihood. If one has a family, he's worried about the children's education, marriage, etc. A lot of the problems there are. There are so much problems related to reality if we go. And these problems, if I say do meditation, will it be solved by doing meditation? It will be not solved by doing meditation. It will be solved by discipline. And to bring the discipline, meditation is important. And if there is a discipline, the person can do a lot of the things. And if there is a discipline, we can tolerate to each other. And a lot of the reality problems, if we see in this 21st century, the main problem, if we see now, is the mobile. Everywhere the problem is mobile, and the mobile has become intolerant for each other. How much we can make discipline of the, I can add one more here, discipline of the mobile. Discipline of the body is important, breath is important, life is important, speech is important, mind is important. But sixth one I can add, discipline of the mobile. That's also very important thing. Just make discipline of the mobile. How much I can use less and less, because this is not going to make your future. This will decrease your future. This will not make your good future. Just think, that how much I can make my future good. Focus only on one thing, and for focusing on that, what's the important thing is that how much I can tolerate to each other. And if you start tolerating to each other, you will see that a lot of the means problems will go away if we tolerate each other. So ego is an impediment to goodness. If the ego goes away, we can tolerate. Physical wellness is essential for tolerance. Just see if I am physically weak or I am physically strong. Try to sarvaradhak, yani I am an aradhak person. I am not viradhak. There is one thing, aradhak means positivity and viradhak means negativity. I'm a positive person. I can tolerate in everywhere, which means spiritual aspirant should practice austerity from all angles that to develop tolerance power. So we have discussed about how can we tolerant, and for that discipline is the most important thing. And if we see the discipline each and every day, just think that really I have to discipline my mind, I have to discipline everything. Remember only two things, that how much physically active I can become, and for that, for tolerance, self discipline is important, and for discipline, mind, body, speech, breath, life, and the last one is discipline of the mobile is very important. And for key for tolerance is self observance is important, deliberation, appraisal, and contemplation. Just see yourself, not others. If the finger is pointing one, the finger, four fingers are pointing us. The day we start focusing on ourselves, it means that really we are working for the purification of our soul. So a conscious understanding of this will help a person develop tolerance. So from today, at least for 1 week, the next session will start on the next Sunday. So in 1 week, just think that how much I can tolerate myself in each and every situation. I will just tolerate myself. I will not give advice to the fool person. The person who is good, I will give advice to them only. Otherwise, I will try to discipline my mind. The first thing, I will try to discipline my mind. And as much as you start disciplining yourself, a lot of the things will go away. Just make sure, make your role model Lord Mahavira, how much he tolerated, how much discipline he has in his life, that he gave a lot of the things in his life, and we can do a lot of things in our life also. So the first thing is that how much we can tolerate. This was the tolerate and be successful in your life. So we have discussed today a lot of the things, how much we can apply in our life. That's the most important thing. Om Arham, Om Arham. Now, if anyone has any questions, you all can ask.
You said that gland, something about means like you have to concentrate.
Yeah, I have talked about the pituitary gland, pineal gland, and the adrenaline gland.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
make our
What is it?
Yeah, see the pituitary gland and the pineal gland, these are the glands which make our emotions very, we can say that calm. If we start working on our pituitary and the pineal gland, so we can control our emotions. That's the thing.
How do we do that?
No, we have, for that we have to do meditation. Like for center of